Okay, let's look at how we find the rule given 2 points. The first thing we need to do is to work out the gradient. We're going to use our y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1 formula. So the first thing I'm going to do is work out my gradient. Label my points. I'm going to call this point 1, so that's x1, that's my y1. This is my x2 and my y2. So I'm going to substitute that into the formula. So y2, negative 2 subtract 6. My x2 is 3. I'm going to subtract negative 1. So that gives me negative 8 over 4. So my gradient is negative 2. Okay, I have my gradient. Now what I do is I just choose one of those points. Doesn't matter which one, so let's choose the first one. I then use my formula like I did before when I had the gradient and 1 point. So I use my y minus y1 is equal to my mx minus x1. And then I'm going to substitute some things in. So what I'm going to substitute in is m is my gradient, my y1 is here, and my x1 is here. So the three things get substituted into my formula. So y subtract 6 is equal to negative 2, x subtract negative 1. So I've substituted those three things in. So I've got y subtract 6 is equal to negative 2. I'm going to change this to a plus. I'm then going to just expand my brackets on the right hand side. So I've expanded the brackets. I then need to add 6 to both sides to leave y on its own on the left hand side, remembering I'm trying to get it in this magic y equals mx plus c form. So y is equal to negative 2x, combining my like terms, so combining these constant terms, y is equal to negative 2x plus 4. Let's look at another example. I've now got my 2 points here, but they're on a sketch. So I'm going to call this my x1, my y1, my x2, and my y2. First thing I need to do is work out my gradient. So I write my gradient formula. Always remember to write that first. Substitute in my values. So y2 is 0, subtract y1, which is 4. x2, which is 2, subtract x1, which is 0. So that gives me negative 4 over 2, so my gradient is negative 2. I then choose 1 point, so let's choose this point, and use my y minus y1 is equal to my mx minus x1 formula. Let's highlight again what we're substituting in. That's my gradient, that's my y1, that's my x1. So now let's go ahead and substitute in those three values. So it's y subtract 4 is equal to negative 2, x subtract 0. Expand my brackets. So y subtract 4 is equal to negative 2x plus 0. Add my 4 to both sides. Just left with y on the left hand side is equal to negative 2x plus 4. So going back to the top, finding the rule given 2 points. First thing that we must do is find the gradient. So we find our gradient, then into our y minus y1 equals mx minus x1, we substitute our gradient and we choose just one of those points to substitute in as x1 and y1.